Before I start today's video, if you're interested in learning more about liberty through the context of American history, go to patriotpost.us, subscribe today, and download the Patriots Primer on American Liberty free through the link in the description box below. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this case coming out of San Francisco, California, of ICE agents making arrests outside of their courthouse. And the local official is getting pretty upset about it because they have classified themselves as a sanctuary city. Now, before we even get into it, let's go ahead and roll the clip. In this clip, you'll see the reaction from local officials. You'll see the statement from ICE. And a few more things. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what was said in the video. I'll give you my 2 cents, my detailed analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
ICE agents arrested 3 people at the Sonoma County Courthouse in Santa Rosa. It was a violation of state law and has the entire legal community in an uproar. KPIX5's John Ramos reports it's also raising some questions about the manner in which immigration officials are now operating.
Usually, the district attorney and public defender are adversaries in the legal system, but what happened here yesterday has joined them in a common cause. ICE agents showed up unannounced at the Sonoma County Courthouse yesterday and arrested at least 3 people, 2 inside the building and 1 outside. Those detained had come here as requested by the court to clear up misdemeanor violations. The arrests have sent a shockwave through the immigrant community.
When we have ICE running around arresting people, it makes it a little bit difficult, and we had a lot of failures to appear today because of that.
The action resulted in this rare joint statement from the district attorney, public defender, and county council condemning the arrests. State law is supposed to forbid immigration detentions anywhere near a courthouse. Public defender Kathleen Posey says law enforcement needs people to be willing to cooperate with the legal system, and this just makes their job harder.
We're out in the community speaking to this population. I'll know your rights, come to court, don't be fearful, ICE is not going to arrest you. And then this happens, so it puts our credibility at issue.
Susan Shaw works with a group called the Rapid Response Network that sends trained observers to the scene of any ICE operations. This morning, armed agents tried to arrest a man in a house on this block, but left after observers showed up and officers couldn't produce a legal warrant.
ICE is basically a clandestine military force that operates outside the law.
We didn't see any warrants in anybody's hands as they were taking someone right outside my office here and then went out in the front. They just said, "You're coming with me," and off they went.
Posey says this is the first time anyone has seen ICE arrests at the courthouse, and it comes shortly after President Trump announced stepped-up immigration detentions in states with sanctuary policies. The Sheriff's Department confirmed that it did receive warnings that ICE was going to conduct arrests here at the courthouse, but as per their policy, they refused to collaborate in the operation.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, I'm not really sure where to begin. I guess I should start with the first thing. Federal law is going to trump state law, okay? The federal government called San Francisco and said, hey, we're coming down there and we're going to make some arrests. It's not a matter of can we come or can you give us permission? No, we're going to come to San Francisco, California, and we're going to make some arrests. All right. And if you get on ICE's radar to the point where they got to come get you, you probably are wanted for more than just simply being illegal. OK, being an illegal alien, being here unauthorized, that's a crime in itself. But most people that have that status aren't going to be targeted by ICE. ICE are trying to get the criminal aliens off the street. Guys that are wanted for homicide, rape, robbery, that type of thing. People that have very serious charges against them, very serious allegations, sex offenders, you name it. They're trying to get them out of the country. I mean, if I had it my way, I would say ICE, go out there and get everybody that's illegal and get them out of the country. But it's just not really being realistic. You got like what, between 11 and 30 million people, and they're kind of hiding in the shadows. It's kind of hard to find them a lot of times. But if you have a person that's been to jail, that's going to court, that's illegal, they're pretty easy to find, which is why they went to the courthouse and they were able to get them right there. Okay, it's very simple. It makes sense. Now, San Francisco has no leg to stand on. Like I said, the federal law is going to trump the state law. This is why when you have some of these weed dispensaries over in California and other states, they can't put their money in the bank because marijuana is still illegal federally. The state law saying that it's legal, recreational, you could do whatever you want to do, does not trump the federal law. Now, you're not going to have the federales come down and arrest somebody for smoking weed on the street in California or Texas or somewhere else. They're not going to have that. That's up to the local law enforcement to handle. In California, they pretty much leave you alone. If you're in Texas, you might get locked up. That's just how the local law works. But when it comes to things like, you know, putting money in the bank and having it insured by the FDIC, and it comes from weed, which is illegal, you can't do that. Okay, they can raid that account, and if you're making a big enough movement over there, wherever you are, they might come raid your business. And what are you really going to do about it? You're taking the risk, you're rolling the dice by operating in a place that has laws that are different from the federal law. That's just how it is. So the sanctuary cities, all that they really can do as far as local officials are concerned is to not cooperate in ISIS raids. Maybe to try to block them from certain things. I think the mayor in Chicago blocked ICE from a certain database that made it more difficult for them to be able to find people and to identify people by name. That's all they really can do. They can just try to block you from accessing their resources, and they can just not cooperate with you being able to go out there and get people. What they can't do is prevent you from executing a raid on your own. So if they come to a particular place and they raid, they take people, you can't do anything. You sit back and just watch. Okay. Now, there have been some times where ICE would call California and say, hey, we're coming. We're doing a raid. We're doing some arrests. I think it was one case in particular where in Oakland, a lady tipped off the quote unquote community and then they fled, which is really crazy because if you want to have a safe place, why would you do that? Because like I said, ICE are not just trying to get random illegal aliens. It'd take too much time, too many resources, and really it wouldn't even be worth it. They're trying to get criminal aliens off the street. So when that person in Oakland, California did that, it just made the streets more dangerous. You have people that are actually illegal aliens that want the illegal aliens off the street that ICE are coming to get, okay? Because they understand who's committing the crime, who's making the neighborhoods more dangerous, who should not be there. Okay, you got, like I said, sex offenders, robbers, murderers, people that should not be in a particular place. But the city officials don't care. I think I saw the Chicago mayor Lightfoot defend a sex offending illegal alien. It's like, what is there to defend? Number one, he's in the country illegally, shouldn't be here. And number two, he is a sex offender. What are we doing trying to defend this man? You shouldn't defend him even if he were a legal resident of the country, let alone an illegal alien. What are we really doing? It seems like these people will defend whatever. It don't matter. They can commit every crime part under the sun, but if they're illegal, they want to just cater to that. Maybe they think that they'll be able to get some of the Hispanic vote if they do that. And maybe that's true, but I know a lot, and I say a lot of Hispanics that aren't necessarily even conservative that are totally against the sanctuary cities because they understand how dangerous it can be. Now, as I close, I want to say this. San Francisco, Chicago, and other sanctuary cities, you're not helping, you're not being compassionate, you're not being altruistic. What you're doing is making that particular area dangerous for everyone. People that are born and raised here, people that are local, people that are legal, recent immigrants, even illegal immigrants that aren't offending via violent crime, scamming, robbing, and stuff like that. You're making everybody's life more difficult. You're making everybody's neighborhood, city, town, state, or whatever more dangerous due to your policies. Sanctuary cities are a sanctuary, all right? They're a sanctuary for all types of violent crime, all types of drug smuggling. We got issues with coronavirus and stuff like that going on, and you want to just have a place where people can come in, you don't know where they come from, and it ain't just Hispanics that come across the border illegally. I think in 1 year, they caught 400,000 people from 150 different countries at the border. That's who they caught. Imagine who they didn't catch, because the wall is not complete. And at that point, there was even less wall than there is right now, which is not a whole lot. So people are able to come through with all kind of illnesses. I mean, you're seeing the plague resurface. You're seeing tuberculosis, measles, coronavirus is happening. I mean, when you have no border, when you have no security, and when you have sanctuary cities where you're able to go and be illegal and commit crime, then what are we really doing? I don't really know, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that the state law, or the city law really, in San Francisco, California should trump the federal law, which says you cannot be here as an illegal alien, especially not a criminal illegal alien? You committing crimes over and over again, and you coming into the country without any kind of documentation, with no legal standing upon which to say that you have a place in this country. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about just this whole issue of immigration in general? I think a lot of times when they talk about sanctuary cities, they want to talk about immigrants, but it's not immigrants, it's illegal aliens. That's the problem. That's the issue with the sanctuary cities. If you're an immigrant, you're legal, then hats off to you, thumbs up, congratulations. If you have a green card, a work visa, whatever it is, you're fine, you're following the law. But if you're over here, number one, not following the law, and then number two, being a gangbanger or something like that, you got to go. And anyone that defends your quote unquote right, which you have none, to be here, ought to be training themselves, and they should get put in a penitentiary alongside of you before you get deported. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.